This is about the soul contract number or the combination of numbers 16, 7, if you find these anywhere in your soul contract chart. So we'll talk about the 16 first. The 16 is Capricorn energy. So Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So this one is going to be really a lot about you working on karma, like on this physical earth. So as a lot of these other numbers are very spiritual, you're working with your spiritual connection and spiritual karma. This one is really, you are having some intense karmic situations with other people here on this physical earth. And this number is not a service soul. You came here to teach people using karma. And you're really, like, in the positive, you're really authentic, reliable. You could be really grounding to others, and you're committed to your goals. And in the negative, you might have an issue with lying. You refuse to accept your spiritual gifts. But just because this one is that you're doing most of your work on this physical, plane, you still have to be connected to those spiritual energies and bring them into your interactions on this physical earth. So you can see why it's Capricorn energy, because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. And it's all about, working on your karma, right? And also this one you could have a lot of repressed anger stored in your liver. So you may need to do some work on your liver. Now, the 7 is a master number. So we've already talked about that. There's another video on that, on the 7s. But so master numbers are either really powerful in the positive or in the negative. So if they're in a karmic area, they're going to be really challenging for you to overcome. The 7s are Gemini energy. And this is going to make sense when we talk about this in a minute, but Gemini is ruled by Mercury. And if you look at Mercury, it's like a generally happy-go-lucky planet until it runs into another planet, and then it takes on the personality of the planet that it runs into. So that makes sense, because 7s are all about you feeling like there's something really terrible about you, or there's something horrible inside you that you don't want anyone to find out about. And so you, in every interaction that you have with people, you are immediately sizing up, like, who do I need to be so that they're never going to find out about this terrible side to me. So you're a very good actor. There's definitely, like, sides to you. Whoever you're dealing with, that's the side. Whatever you think that person needs so that they don't find out the real you, that's who shows up. So because you do that, you're controlling people. Like, control is a really big thing with this number. You control everything, every situation, so that no one finds out about this, so-called horrible person that you are. And you may not even know that you're doing this. So this may be like a subconscious thing that you do. And because it's subconscious, sometimes you don't even know what is real and what isn't. And then because of all the control, your body can feel really rigid. So that's another thing with this number, is your body just is feeling really rigid. But one of the talents, so if you have it in a talent area, then you are like the life of the party. You bring people together. You're good at networking. You're just magnetic. If you have a 16-7 in a karmic area, you're just going to have a lot of difficulty grounding and relating to others. So because you're supposed to be grounding down and, working with people on karma, you're not going to be able to do that. So grounding is going to be really hard for you. And then you're controlling, because of that 7, you're controlling and you're hiding parts of yourself, So to transform this karma, you have to learn how to present your real self, not this like curated version of yourself. If you have a 16-7 in a talent area, then you just magnetically draw people to you. And like you may join a group and then end up becoming the leader of that group. So you're just really good at bringing people together on this like physical earth. If you have a 16-7 in a goal area, then you like the goal of this number is to be a leader who not only can lead really efficiently and proficiently, like so you're all of the things that a good leader has. You facilitate, you are directing people, where they need to go. You're completing projects, you are all the things that make a good leader, but people really like you. So that's what the 7 too, like kind of the life of the party. So the 16 is that, yeah, you on this physical plane can really get things done, but that 7 makes you super likable. So you're like the boss that nobody talks about behind their back, because like a lot of bosses, you're like, wow, this guy, he's driving me nuts, or what an idiot, or whatever. But you're a boss or a manager that actually does all the things that a boss and manager does really well, and people actually like you. So that would be the goal of this number. And if you haven't a goal, then that's something that you need to work on. Or you definitely have the potential to do it. And if you have a 16-7 in a soul destiny, you are here to draw people to you on this physical plane to share spiritual energies with them. So this would be a little bit more on the spiritual side. But again, you could be that leader, that group facilitator, group leader that shares maybe some spiritual energies with people. And if you have a 16-7 in a karmic area or a goal or a soul destiny, or even if it's in a talent and you need to bring out, a lot of times talents aren't like 100% there. You need to bring out the positive sides. So some support for that is that you can get really heavily emotionally involved with other people because working on karma, that's like a heavy job. And you still need to get to the spiritual energies and let them flow through you. You can't do everything just on this physical plane. So try noticing, and you might want to keep a journal or something, but try noticing anything that comes through, like any sort of spark, or if you just pose a question and then, just kind of be open to an answer coming to you, or be open to some sort of information that you might need. And I know for me, like I do this when I'm on social media or something, like I'll follow something, and so I'm assuming it's going to show me more of what I follow, and it's showing me all this other stuff that I don't follow. And for a while there, I was like, God, this is so annoying. And then I thought, no, for some reason, this is stuff I need to know. So I need to be open. So it's just like even small stuff like that. You just need to be open to what's being presented to you. And there is another, like I said, there's another video just on the 7 energy. So you can go check that out. But just some more support for just specifically that 7, because it is a very tough number. So because the 7 too has this in your childhood, some sort of abuse or trauma caused you to like separate those sides of yourself. That's how it happened into, good and bad. And so now you've got this side of yourself that you have labeled bad, when in reality it was just there to protect you and get you through whatever you had to go through. So I found it helpful, and there's probably plenty of stuff out there on this. I just used this book, but it's called Feeding Your Demons. And it was really interesting because you really get to know this like side of yourself that you think is like so horrible, and you're naming it, and eventually you kind of develop this relationship with it, and then you you like you love it so much that it eventually like gets absorbed into the rest of your soul. So that's kind of like a small little snippet of how that works. But I'm sure there's plenty of other ways out there that people do this, but I found that book um, to work for me. And then you also might have to, obviously, you might have to get some professional help with this, a therapist. Group therapy would probably be beneficial too, because you can't, well, I mean, you could, but you need to work on sharing just that one true side of yourself to other people, and not, curating this different version to everybody. So if you're in this like kind of therapeutic group setting, then that would be a good place for you to work on that. And the people who you surround yourself with need to be a safe place for you to heal. Again, they need to be a safe place for you to allow this true side of yourself to come out. So you may, once you learn this, you may look at some of your relationships and say, I don't know, they're not safe enough for me to actually, be completely exposed, like all of the parts of me, right? So you may start to evaluate your relationships, and you're going to want to have something that is really safe for you to open up and make sure that the true you is coming out. And you may want to keep a diary just with a lot of these things, because when you interact with someone, and I have sevens too in my karmic area, so I know that I have trouble with this also, that when I do have an interaction with someone, sometimes I'm thinking, was I my real self, or did I do something, in order, like I know who this person is, so I changed in some way to make myself more palatable or something. So you may want to keep a journal, and it kind of helps you decide after an interaction, like, oof, was that my real self, or did I go back to my, curating different sides of me to make sure that this person was okay with me. And also this control, like I talked about, it really makes your body go through it. So you have to find things that get you into your body, like Reiki, yoga, Qigong. And then you can even do something like, think of something a child would like to do, because getting back to joy, this trauma happened when you were a child. And so a lot of times, like, our joy as a child got a little snuffed out, right? And we need to bring that joy back to our inner child. So doing things that maybe are more childlike, not silly, but maybe singing, dancing, just laughing, drawing, anything that really makes you feel joyful, like something that a kid would do. And if you don't know what's in your soul contract chart, there's a video here on YouTube that you can learn how to do that. Or if you don't want to calculate this on your own, you can use the link. I'll put it in the description to my website, and I'll calculate it for you and give you a full reading.